Hello, everyone. Today is June 12th, 2025. This is the Kubernetes storage SIG meeting. So let's look at this timeline for the release cycle 1.34. Today is PRR freeze deadline. So if you have a feature that is targeting 1.34, today you need to get your PRR ready. And then the next deadline is enhancement freeze. That's about a week from today. So that's Friday, next Friday, 20th of June. Okay, so let's go over the planning spreadsheet. The first item is recovering from resize failure, moving to GA. Do we have any update for this?
Yeah, so the PRR is approved. I need approval from storage, like Jan or Michelle, I don't know, or you, somebody can approve it.
Okay. Yeah, so see if I think Yang and Michelle already reviewed, right? So if they can approve, ask them to approve it. Otherwise, I can take a look if you need me to take a look. All right, thank you. Next one, working group snapshot. So staying in beta, moving to V1 beta 2. This one also, the cap is in review. Michelle reviewed it. I think is she here today? So she's not here today. Yeah, so I need to ask her to review again. And also, there's a small PRR section change, so I actually should pin them to take a look. And volume health, considering moving to beta, I think we are working on some documents. So I haven't made any progress on this one. I'll show you if Sunny here. Is anyone from your side?
No.
Okay.
Not for this one.
No update. Next one. Enable privileged containers so Windows should replace CSI proxy. What is the status for this?
Yeah, no updates on this. The enhancement is still open. I've reviewed the latest revision and it looks good to me. And somebody needs to approve of that.
Okay. But we don't really need to follow the KK deadline, right? So we can,
right, yeah, okay. It's out of free.
All right. Okay, thanks. Next one, voting attributes class moving to GA.
Yeah, so the PRR is merged. And I'm trying to raise some PR in the CSS spec.
Oh, okay. Great, thank you for that update. And the next one, CSS sidecar all in one. Do we have any update on this design?
We don't get updates. We don't have any updates. We canceled the meeting this week. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. And the next one, mutable CSN node allocatable property. This one actually started.
Yeah, so the enhancement is fully updated. I saw the PRR shadow looks good to me. And then so it's ready for David to take a look. And then we also need Michelle's approval. And yeah, thank you, Heyman, for unblocking the beta requirement.
Okay. The ET test is merged, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Next one is cozy overall move to with an alpha 2. I think I saw Blaine earlier? Is Blaine still here? Oh, Blaine is still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. You want to give an update?
Yeah, we're still waiting on reviews.
Okay. Yeah, I think Sad is not in today's meeting. We had something. So I think last time he said he will review it. So I think we will ping him again. Okay, thank you. Next one, CSM migration products. So I think we just leave it here to keep track because we want to remember to remove the feature gate. So this was J last release. So I think we need to wait until 1.36 to remove the feature gate. So I think that'll be okay. I don't know. Okay, we'll remove it. 1.36. I think we have another item that is similar. The next one is similar.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
We want to re-enable the volume expansion for stale select. The line 16. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let me read this one first. So remove gate. Okay, I thought okay, maybe I thought I updated this one, but right. So sorry, because this is the same thing, so I'll just let me just add this and go to your item. So this item is the same thing basically. This two we just keep track of this one, so otherwise we kind of forget about this one. All right. So 16, right? You're saying this one? We need to
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay.
We basically got approved by SIG apps, but he says we need to ask someone from SIG storage to review it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
My colleague has posted on Slacks early this week. Yeah.
26 storage. I think Hemant, you are reviewing it already, or is it? I think Hemant is reviewing it already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one is this? Sorry.
This is the warning expansion for stable set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Maybe targeting 135. I don't think we can catch up to 134.
Okay, yeah. So let's see. We'll change it. We'll change it after. We still have 1 week to go.
Does it have
Okay.
PRR approved? Because if you have PRR approved, then you still have time.
Okay.
Did you fill out the PRR section? That section is required. If you right.
Yeah. We haven't. Yeah.
Oh, that you
we
need.
will
Yeah,
fill
I
out
think you
later.
should actually have that one filled out so they can actually start reviewing it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you should get the PRR reviewed, and I think I see a comment by
Well, today is actually the deadline though. If you don't have it today, you miss the deadline already. Today is the PRR. You have to have your PR section filled out by today.
There was a PRR added section.
Oh,
and
is there? Okay. If it's there, then that should be good. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, into ping Vortic or something like that for the
Okay.
PRR. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Okay, thank you. So I think so there's two. We'll just keep track of the feature gate removal. Next one is integrate CSI1 limits with autoscaler. Okay, I think this is started. I think Humang, you have already started this one, right? So
Yeah. So I have the enhancement open and everything, but the thing is that the PRR the reviewer, they're saying that we should split the enhancement into two, one for autoscaler and one for scheduler actually. And
two. Well, that's why we need two. Normally, if it's owned by two SIGs, I thought we just have one main SIG and then okay.
so I don't know. And
I don't know. I probably prefer it to be in one because they're related to each other, right?
yeah, that's what I was arguing with them. Like the scheduler change cannot go G until cluster autoscaler change is done. So yeah.
Yeah, it seems to, if it's separated, you can't see this other one. Like it's hard to evaluate the impact together. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I guess we need to kind of get that resolved.
Yeah. May or may not make it. I don't know.
Okay.
Like if yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And also initially I thought this one may not even be in tree. I thought are you saying now it's actually in tree?
No, it's not entry actually. It's in
Okay.
this auto,
Auto tree.
like the
Okay.
alpha changes. I want to make it in autoscaler.
Okay.
So
What about
autoscaler
scheduler? What about
is,
scheduler change? Is that should be in tree, right?
that should be entry. But we are not doing that because
Okay.
there has to be like n+2 gap between, I think, scheduler and the autoscaler changes so that we don't end up in a situation where scheduler is newer and cluster autoscaler is older.
Okay. So probably you need to discuss with the PR reviewer and say does not make sense to split them. Okay.
I will try to see if I can get it resolved on this. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. And okay, and the next one is kubelet event design state word populator. How are you reviewing this one? This one, I think this one already got PR approval, I think.
Yeah, it did. I haven't had chance to
Okay.
review the new design yet, actually. Like this week and next, I'll see if.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, this one is just I need to just work on a doc collecting some use cases. I think I have not started that one yet, so I don't have update this week. Okay, so and then node readiness gates. I don't know if there's anything here. It sounds like there's a Google Doc, but there's no cap yet. Unless if you guys hear anything about this. Michelle, I don't know if there's any. And I don't see a cap. So node readiness gates.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the next one, mutable PV node affinity. Okay, does someone want to give an update on this?
Yeah, PR is out for review. And we want to push this feature in 1.34, but we haven't filled out the PR.
Oh,
we still have a chance?
you need to get it. Well, you
Uh,
need to have that figured out today. Otherwise, I think
yeah.
today's.
Okay.
But you can still
Mm.
try. I mean, if they because PR reviewer, right? If they,
Okay. Okay.
I'm not sure when they're checking it, but supposedly today is deadline.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
All right, so that's everything you have. Right, and go back to doc. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything? Okay, Blaine, you added this one. Okay, so you request review. Yeah, so Michelle here, the cozy we have 2 changes. So with reviews. Okay, so and then design reviews. Okay, Kachin, you want? Oh, sorry. Inqi,
Yeah.
to talk about this.
Yeah. It's about the comments you have comments in this PR that this cap has introduced alpha field of the VAC.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. Do we need to remove that to catch up the 134?
okay, so
Or
let's actually talk about this. Okay,
yeah.
so see. So okay, so this is a mutable PV node affinity. Maybe you should can you briefly explain what this feature is about? Then it's better you talk about it than me, right? Maybe it's better that you share it, or you want me to share, I can share too. Better you briefly.
Basically, I haven't prepared.
Oh, that's fine.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so
Basically, it's
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead, please.
Just say, okay, so this feature basically trying to propose to make the node affinity field mutable, right? And then I think as part of this, there is also a change proposed for the CSI spec. So that's where my comments coming. So in the CSI spec, controller modify volume. Let's see, where's your? Okay, let's see. Oh, here, right. So the CSS spec, controller modify volume response. Did you make the change already, or is this? Sorry, I don't know if this is changed already. I couldn't see the.
No, it haven't changed.
That changed.
Haven't
Okay,
changed.
all right. So you are proposing to add this new. Oh yeah. Okay, you're proposing to add this new field, topology, accessible topology in controller modify volume response in CSS spec. So previously, as part of the VAC feature, when we added this one, this is empty, right? So this one says, so this is the alpha feature. Now VAC is moving to GA. We have already approved the cap. So in the CSI spec, we will need to change this to remove this one. Basically, we need to move controller modify volume to GA. So this is adding another field. So this field will be, I think this one needs to be marked as alpha field. So I was thinking, the VAC should still move forward. So this will be like a separate feature, I'm thinking. So this will be, so we need to move controller modify volume to GA first in CSS spec, right? And this will be like a feature, it's like a separate feature on top of that. So we need to move this. We need to remove this definitely, because that's, because since we're moving VAC to GA, we need to remove this. So this is like another feature. So we're adding a new field, alpha field, inside the controller modify volume. So I think we should treat this as 2 separate changes. So Ben, this is CSI spec changes.
Okay, but this is the promotion of the Sorry, is this the
This is
the
the control.
modify volume or
So
different one?
okay, so this is another feature. So volume attributes class, we have already approved the cap, right? So as part
Right.
of a volume attributes class, we need to we need to move this feature controller modify volume from alpha to GA in CSS spec, right? Which means
Yeah.
for this particular controller modify volume response, this is the existing code is like this. It has this alpha max because it's still alpha there, but we need to move this to GA
Yeah.
for 1.34, right? So
But,
basically,
are we talking about changing the feature or just promoting the existing one?
so I think that's two things. I think we should separate them, right?
Okay.
So one feature is volume attributes class. So controller modify volume that we already approved the cap. We want to promote this one to GA, right? That means in CSS spec we need to remove this. So this controller
Right.
modify.
So generally the approach we use for promoting stuff in CSI is just evaluating how much soak time it's got, how many different implementations there are, how many issues have popped out, and if it looks like there's plenty of implementations and everyone's happy with it, then yeah, we just do it. So like that I have no problem with.
Okay.
I'm trying. I can't remember the timeline. How long has it been in alpha? Is this one release or two releases?
Well, this has been what is timeline? I think Sunny. This has been a while, right? Sunny.
It feels like a long time, but
Yeah.
someone who knows objectively.
Yeah,
Better.
this is already so it's beta in 1.33, right? Okay, is that
1.32.
1.32, 1.31, right? Beta 1.31 beta.
How many months is that? Because I've lost track of the release numbers.
Was it first?
Is it like a year?
1 point.
Or
So 3 releases a year.
okay.
Right? 3 releases a year. So was it first introduced in 1.29 release? I thought this was first in 1.29 release.
Okay, well we can go back and determine objectively when it was merged and then how many implementations there are. So that I mean that'll just be a question of whether we feel comfortable with the amount of soak time it's got because it's out there. It was approved for alpha.
Yeah.
Tell me about the other half.
It's beta in 1 point. I think it's 1.31, I believe. And then now.
Well, I mean, on the CSI side,
1 year.
like there's only
from
alpha
beta,
and GA.
So basically, from beta to GA, it's a year, right? It's a year. Yeah. From beta to GA now, it's already a year. Then before that, maybe there's I don't know if it's less than a year or a year. Between alpha and beta, there's some time, could be a year, but less than a year.
But I want to understand the changes portion of this because if there's problems with the design, the original design.
It's not. This is like a new. That's what I'm saying. This is another feature, right? This is saying. We want to. This is like the node affinity. This is like a use case that says we want to. For example, okay, I think let's go to the use case section. Right? Use case section says you may want to move your volume from one zone to another. So this is a different use case, right? So that's why this is a new cap. This cap was just submitted a few days ago.
Right. Will this new feature require any additional CSI changes, or is the assumption that the CSI part is already fine?
This needs a CSI change. Yeah, this needs a CSI change. That's why I
was. Right, but that's a reason not to promote to GA if the feature as designed has gaps.
But this is,
we should figure out what those gaps are.
Yeah, but I think this is why this is
another feature.
Yeah. This is not a breaking change, so I agree that this will not block the promotion of the whole.
I mean, it can, right? I mean, I'm not saying it necessarily has to block it. I'm just saying like we need to look at what the nature of the gap is and figure out like, was this a flaw in the original design? or is this something that we should just handle on a separate track?
This
So
was not in the original design. Originally, we didn't consider this one. This kind of come later. That's why this one was just
yeah. But I mean, that's a gap, right? That's
it is a gap.
something we could have thought of up front, but we didn't. And now we're thinking of it and we want to fix it. So we just need to figure out how separable they are.
Right.
So can you remind me what the feature is?
This feature, that's why I was asking. So the use case is people they all have their workloads deployed. They want to be able to move it to a different zone.
And what does that
So-
include?
Yeah, I have introduced. Wei-Wen, please go ahead. Yeah.
And I'm the author of this CAP.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead if you want to explain what this feature is about.
yeah, and we at Alibaba Cloud, we currently want to implement a feature and we have a new type of disk, which is called regional disk. This one can be accessed from every zone in the region. And we want to support that user can modify their existing volume to be this new type. So we need to modify the accessibility requirement of the volume. So
right. Okay. Yeah. So this is I want to change the topology, which CSI doesn't currently allow. And
yes.
Is the proposal that VACs are the right way to do that?
Yeah, I think this is suitable
because
for
I think
VAC.
we talked about this before, and like the assumption that topology will not change for a CSI volume is baked pretty deeply in. And I think the one workaround we discussed was you could create a new volume using the old volume as a data source and have the new volume have a different topology, and then have the actual implementation just sort of take the same volume and promote it. So the new volume and the old volume are the same, and then you delete the old volume. And then you have a new CSI volume with a new topology, but it wouldn't be treated as a modification. It would be treated as a volume creation. And that would be safer in the sense that anything that currently depends on topology not changing for a volume would not be disturbed by that workflow. If we try to allow the topology for an existing volume to change, we're going to have to go think through all the things that might break as a result of that.
So I think the cloning, I think that's like a workaround, right? It's not real. This is more like you want to.
Well, it's a way that would achieve the desired result with no modification of the CSI spec. So I'm offering it as like you could do that today, right?
Correct.
And if that's obviously that's not ideal.
Yeah, your workload will be.
The alternative is to actually change the topology and to figure out if we can do that safely, which is a heavy lift.
Yeah, so you're basically that is a workaround, but then your workload will be disrupted. It's a disruptive change. Anyway.
I guess my question is for even this like migration use case, like is that even safe? Because right now the controller modify volume kind of assumes that any changes you make can be done even if there are workloads using that volume.
Yeah, that's something that storage provider should ensure, and we can ensure that this operation will not disrupt any running workload.
Right, but we don't know if just changing the topology would break anything.
Yeah.
So that I guess that's the big unknown.
I think it's like a new capability. The modify volume, like we say, the current feature gate, right, cannot guarantee that. So I think that needs another feature gate saying, hey, modify and also
Yeah, but
change about
the
something like that.
capabilities express what the SP can and can't do.
Mm-hmm.
This is a case of the CO's capability, right? If the CO cannot support changing of topology, then there's nothing that the CSI driver, the SP, can do to alleviate that. Now, I don't know if anything in Kubernetes will break if topologies start just changing.
But I think that's what this cap is about, right? We have not really done a deep review of this cap yet, and just you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's
we need to review this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The main challenge is that when topology was added to CSI, it was added in such a way that it was immutable, and the COs were allowed to assume that they would not change. And so if we break that assumption, like it's impossible to know what could break without just auditing all the code that depends on CSI topology, because we currently make a guarantee that we won't do that, and we will be breaking a guarantee that we currently make, and capabilities don't help there because this is the CO side. Like I guess we could come up with a way for the CO to assert like I understand mutable topologies, and therefore I am invoking some CSI RPC in such a way that topology can change, and then the CO can opt into that behavior through some new CSI RPC, and then we could specify that's the only conditions under which it's okay to change the topology, and that would give COs that can't support this a way out. But we just have to think through like what's going to go wrong, and how do we continue supporting existing COs that don't understand mutable topology while also enabling it to change in cases where that's actually possible and desirable.
Okay, so I think I can add another field to the modify volume request. So only if this new parameter is set to true, then SP is allowed to change the topology.
And how would that be? So, but currently modifying a volume doesn't change its topology, right? Like there's no field that allows modify volume to return a new topology, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying not only would we add a field for the CO to say I allow you to change the topology, but we have to change the return value to return a new topology, right?
Yes.
Okay. And why do we want to put that on top of modify volume instead of an entirely new modify topology RPC? Like why should it be combined instead of just a new thing?
Yeah. They look really like, because if we add a new RPC, the request would look exactly the same.
Well, but there would be two requests. Like you could imagine we keep modify volume as is. We add a new modified topology RPC. Old COs just call modify volume and get the modify volume behavior. New COs that can support this would call modify volume and then modify topology back to back. And then they could get the desired behavior.
Determine the order of these two calls. Maybe one.
Right. So you're saying that the problem is the way your SP works is they have to be done together. You can't do one without the other.
Yes, we have some.
Yeah, I'm remembering the discussion we had like a month ago about this. So the problem is if we try to separate it out into two separate calls, you can't actually support them being done separately, because you need to both modify the volume and modify the topology atomically.
Can the driver not do this under hood and modified topology call, like under the hood? It doesn't have to be exposed to the like user. Can it not be opaque completely?
Yeah.
Like in the driver implementation.
We need to make that this thing mutable first, right? If it's not mutable, then you can.
Well, we should explore a proposal where it's a separate RPC, and then we try to work through the details that some SPs may only be able to do this together. I mean, because there's one workaround is, yeah, like actually do the VAC modification inside modified topology, like Amat just suggested. Or another proposal would be do the topology modification in modify volume, but the CO doesn't become aware of it until it also calls modified topology. So modified topology would actually be a no-op for drivers that support this, and it would just exist to return the new topology when it was called. I'm just throwing out ideas that something like that could work. If we conclude that there's absolutely no way to do this other than to change modify volume, then that's a really strong argument that it's not a GA feature. Because modify volume, I mean, if we're changing it when it's still alpha, it should stay alpha.
Yeah.
It's all beta, it's not alpha. Oh, you're talking about
It's-
CSI. Okay. Oh, yes.
In CSI, there is no beta.
Right,
It's
right.
just alpha.
Mhm.
So I would like to come into a design where like we don't change modify volume and we just promote it to GA and we do this as some additional RPC and we come up with a way that would allow an SP that must make the change atomically to do it across two calls. If the key is both the SP and the CO have to support this, right? The SP has to have a capability that says, I understand not only modifying volumes, but modifying topology. And the CO also has to say, I want you to modify the topology because I understand it too. And we have to do that in a way that's backwards compatible with COs that don't understand this and SPs that don't understand this.
I feel like we cannot put this in modify volume because we decided the parameters of modify volume will be opaque. CO doesn't know what's coming. It's like in Kubernetes case, the external resizer doesn't inspect what's there. It just passes to the driver. Similarly, like VAC, volume attribute class, the whole mechanism, like what parameter gets passed, like the CO doesn't know. But in this case, like the topology actually is a distinct field that CO knows and CO must be aware of that it's changing. So I just don't see how we can just show this field in the modify volume whose parameters are supposed to be like generally opaque.
Right. Well, so here's an idea. What if we like just have a new CSI call that's like get updated topology, and of course there would be a capability around it. So SPs would have to opt into it, and then we could specify that after a call to modify volume, COs may call get updated topology to discover that the topology has changed after modify volume, and if the SP advertises that and the CO also supports it. And then in the case of old COs that don't support it, they could still call modify volume, but they would just never learn about the change topology. So we'd have to specify that like that the new any new topology has to be less restricted than the old topology if modify volume changes it. Right?
But we also have use cases that makes the topology more restrictive.
Well, then it's very hard to make that backwards compatible because a CO would have to first ask like, if I call modify volume, is the topology going to get more restrictive? In which case, don't do it, right?
Yeah, so that's why I propose the new parameter in the modify volume request. So if the CO does not understand the modify the topology, then SP should reject the modify volume request and say that you should use another VAC and you should not do this modify.
But the thing that in Kubernetes and this thing in general, the way modify volume, like the mechanism is designed is designed assuming that modify volume will be opaque. We do not inspect.
Yes, I know that.
So we don't inspect. We assume that it's a VAC to VAC transition. Actually, that's how it's been designed, and this changes the the mechanism like pretty.
Yeah, well, so that argues for a whole new RPC that does all of the things, right? That both changes the topology and updates the VAC together, and that only new COs and new SPs could take advantage of that new, more powerful VAC transition that also changes topology, right?
Yeah.
And then in some future version of Kubernetes, we would check the capability, and if it existed, we would only call the new one and never call the old one, the new modified volume. Yeah, this is a hard one, because it's.
But I don't see any advantages over just adding a new parameter to the existing modified volume.
So the advantage is like the way like is the controller modify was designed originally, right? It is designed in I think like from like we are in Kubernetes. So in Kubernetes is designed to apply VAC changes.
Yes.
So this feature says, okay, we can not only change VAC, we'll also gonna change the topology of the PV actually as part of the proposal. So that changes like the whole assumption actually, like, and how it's designed.
It becomes it's no longer non-disruptive, because if the new topology doesn't include the zone that a current workload is running on, like you're going to break that workload by changing this, right?
Yes, I'm proposing if this is disruptive, then SP should reject the request. SP should ensure this is non-disruptive. Yeah. So we still keep the assumption of this modified volume is non-disruptive.
So we are saying that, I mean, it seems to satisfy your use case, your particular use case. But if we are going to implement this, I'm not sure if that's the path we should take, because if it just makes one vendor happy and rest of the vendors, it doesn't work for other vendors. I don't know. Like we need to have like more more discussions around this actually. Like can we? Yeah. Like I do understand that for you, but.
And there's a difference between non-disruptive in practice versus non-disruptive in theory, right? Like there's you can determine it would be non-disruptive given the existing configuration of volumes and workloads attached to them, but that's different than saying like this change could never be disruptive under any circumstances, which would be a stronger claim. I feel like anything that can restrict topology, you could never say it's non-disruptive in any circumstance, because given race conditions or timing of a sequence of events, you could be starting a new workload that would violate the topology restriction, but the SP doesn't know about that yet, so it can't say this is going to be disruptive, and it allows the change, but then the workload that was going to start now can't start. I mean, it's hard to really say, this is definitely non-disruptive no matter what happens.
Yep.
Especially when you can restrict topology as part of the change, because that feels inherently disruptive, even if nothing is currently running in the topology that's being removed. It could be running.
Okay.
Is there a write-up of of exactly what the underlying feature looks like with some examples of like, here's a volume that was zonal and now it's regional, and this is what the old topology looks like, and here's what the new topology looks, and a reverse of that shows something where there's topology got restricted? Because I'd like to just see an illustration of like, what is the underlying system doing that we're trying to represent in CSI? So I could think about maybe other approaches.
Okay, so yeah, I will add this part to the cap. So
Okay.
maybe I can make a PR to the CSI spec and explain this.
I think you should also just, other than this proposal, can you also think about the other options that has been suggested here? I think it would be good to also think about those alternatives rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
only
I
talk
will also
about this
think
one.
about the new RPC proposal. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be good for each proposal to say, we thought about this and here's why it won't work. And just have that captured somewhere, because otherwise we'll keep bringing up the same ideas and rejecting them.
Yeah. So I think given the discussion, we will not make this targeting 1.34 Kubernetes.
Yeah, I think this needs more time, more discussions.
Okay.
And Xing, for the purposes of promotion of the existing modified volume RPC, as long as the possibility we might need to change it is hanging over this, I'm not okay taking it out of alpha.
Okay.
Because I would hate to promote a feature, an RPC to GA and then immediately change it. That just looks really bad. If we can rule out the possibility that we're going to change modified volume because we know we're going to do this through some other RPC, then
okay, so
then I think
we probably need to get some of those details earlier because
exactly.
Yeah.
I'd like to
okay.
try to figure out like what the CSI level approach is going to be, and if we can rule in or rule out changes to modified volume, that helps us figure out what to do. Because yeah, if the feature's been alpha for a long time, we should promote it, unless we're about to change it again.
Okay, so when do you think you can have some document kind of detailing this, alternative proposals? So we actually should look at them early, right? Because we do want to promote VAC to GA in 1.34. Now this is blocking it now. So we need to have a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll do it as soon as possible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. So I will note here. Oops. Okay.
So does this mean the future of the volume attribute kind of like depends on the next CSI feature cut, right? Like the spec, until we have a new cut, we don't know if we are going to make
We need to, right. So we need to, for the VACGA, we need to move the CSS spec side change to GA. Then, because the Kubernetes side has a dependency, right? But I'm sorry, what is you have some other comments?
No, I was just saying that I think we need to discuss this in more detail in the CSI community sync.
Yeah, we need CSI spec side. This is a spec side. Let's see.
Oh no, the CSI meeting is next week, isn't it? I'm on vacation next week.
Oh,
I'm gonna miss that.
Okay.
So that's bad timing. We can schedule a one-off meeting.
Yeah, we
maybe
can.
the following week.
I think we need to have some details first before we go talk about that in the CSI side meeting, right? Because
but
presumably
we can come up with some new proposals in the next 7 days. But if I'm not there,
we need you. So when are
I'm just out for 1 week next week, so I'll be back the following week.
Oh, okay. I think it's still because this is like because the cap is already merged. We just need to make sure we get the code in, right? So it's like the code freeze, right?
With the cap for which feature?
VAC is already merged. VAC itself is already merged. We're not going to get this new cap merge because we still have so many questions, right? But now this.
Oh, you're saying we want to try to push for VACs to GA.
Yeah.
Aggressively.
This new feature we can delay it because we need more discussion. But now you're saying we need to have this sorted out before.
Well, I'm saying that, yeah, as long as it's possible that that we're going to do this new feature and it's going to require a change to modified volume,
you want to know
we
more
should
details.
wait.
That makes sense. Yeah, but I think we should actually try to get this resolved early. So
I don't see how we can resolve it without also resolving the larger question of how we're going to do this topology modification.
I'm just saying we need to. So we still have like a month, right? More than a month, right?
Okay.
Right, because CAP is already VAC CAP is already merged. That we're going to try to work on other stuff anyway, right? So in this we have like 1.5 months, I feel, because this is like what July.
Okay, so
maybe
2 weeks. If we meet 2 weeks from now, we can sort this out potentially. We have some better ideas.
So we need to have some details on like what do we do with this one. Maybe in the next week or so, if Inchi, you guys can come up with some details, then we can talk about this again. Yeah, maybe we need to set up a one-off meeting to review this.
I support a one-off meeting for this topic.
Okay. Maybe the week after next, right? When you're back. Okay.
Okay.
Let's need to schedule meeting after next week. 2 minutes.
We will file our design to the Slack once we finish it.
Yeah. Please share so that way we can take a look. Then we can figure out a time to discuss it. Okay.
And we should get a list of people we want to have in that meeting so we can check everyone's schedule and make sure it's mutually workable.
Yeah. Anyone here interested in, of course, Sunny, Michelle, Hemant, Ben, Yunchi, everybody here.
And we should try to get Saad involved too. He might have some opinions. I don't know if he'll be available.
So next week, okay, will he be hosting the meeting? I can briefly mention that.
I'm going to have to tell Saad that I can't be there for the CSI meeting.
Yeah, okay.
I think what to do about it.
Yeah, no. So we can't. I don't think we can make a decision, right? Okay, so yeah, but there are other people.
But if we have another meeting, we can try to get Saad in that meeting. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah, sure. And there are other people who are interested in moving VAC to GA, right? So I think we also there are a few folks. Looks like they have dropped. Yeah. So there are probably more people who want to get involved. But anyway, we will just talk about the date, maybe on the slide. We can see who are interested. Okay, we can coordinate and figure out a date. Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's the plan for this. Are there anything else we want to discuss today? If not, that's it for today. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.